All right, welcome back, eighth graders. So this next lesson, we're talking about what is called the converse of the Pythagorean theorem. So our Pythagorean theorem stated that if a squared plus b squared, both being side lengths, uh, added to c squared, then we had a right triangle if we had a right triangle, then a squared plus b squared equals c squared. Getting ahead of myself. So what the converse does is it takes it backwards. If the sum of the squares of the length of the two sides of the triangle is equal to the square of the length of the third, then the triangle is a right triangle. So, plainly put, if a squared plus b squared equals c squared, then the triangle is a right triangle. That is what we're working with. Whereas when we were working with Pythagorean theorem, it was said backwards. If it is a right triangle, then a squared plus b squared equals c squared. So we flipped them. If we know that a squared plus b squared equals c squared, then we can say it's a right triangle. And we need to always remember longest side always is always c. Always, always, always. Because we need our hypotenuse in that position. So let's do some practice. We need to decide if the following is a right triangle, and then we're going to justify our reasoning. Justifying is just stating why is that true. So of these, 10 is the longest, so that's my C, and then these other two are A and B. So we're plugging in a squared plus b squared. I always put question mark because I don't know if it equals c squared yet. Question mark c squared. So then we're going to do 8 squared plus 6 squared, or the other way around. Question mark 10 squared. 8 squared is 64. 6 squared is 36. 10 squared is 100. And right now, all I'm doing is I'm just going to keep evaluating. 64 plus 36 is 100. We're going to bring that other 100 down, and they are equal. And so since both sides are the same, then it is yes, it's a right triangle, and it's because 8 squared plus 6 squared is equal to 10 squared. That's how we knew it. I plugged it in. I ended up with the same thing on both sides of the equal sign. All right, let's go to example 2, but that's how simple your justifications would be. Decide if the following is a right triangle. Justify your reasoning. So 4, 5, 6. 6 is our largest, so that's C. So we're going to plug in a squared plus b squared question mark c squared. We're going to end up with 4 squared plus 5 squared question mark 6 squared. 4 squared is 16. 5 squared is 25. 6 squared is 36. I'm hoping you can look at this and say that we're going to get bigger than this. But if you can't, 16 plus 25 is 41, which is not equal to 36. And so because they are not equal, then it's a no, or not a right triangle, because 4 squared plus 5 squared is greater than, because 41 is bigger than 36, c squared. All right? It's as simple as that. So we're going to do one with decimals now. 2.56, 6.5. 6.5 is going to be my C. And so we're going to do 2.5 squared plus 6 squared question mark 6.5 squared. 2.5 squared is 6.25 plus 6 squared is 36. And 6.5 squared is 42.25. So 6.25 plus 36 is 42.25. which is equal to our 42.25. And so yay, this becomes a yes, it's a right triangle because 2.5 squared plus 6 squared equals 6.5 squared. So again, we're plugging in. A and B are our two smaller sides. C is always our largest side. And we just evaluate and we see that the left equals the right. All right, so I threw this one in here because if you notice, we have square roots going on. And that was the whole reason I threw this in here. If you have square roots, now I know square root of 15 is close to 16 and square root of 16 is 4. So this is less than 4 and this is less than 5 because square root of 25 is 5. So then 6 is our biggest number. So that's going to be C. If you're not sure, go ahead and type square root of 15 and get its decimal, square root of 21 and get its decimal, and then compare it. But you do not want to use the decimals when you plug in because you will end up with, because you're going to have to round at some point, an inaccurate feed. But if we remember that the square is the inverse of the square root, or vice versa, square root's the inverse of the square, when I take the square root of 15 times the square root of 15, I get just 15. All right, so square root of 15 squared, the square removes the square root and we're left with what's inside. So we have 15 plus, again, our square removes our square root because they are inverse functions of each other. So we're left with the 21 that was inside, question mark, 6 squared is 36. And so then 15 plus 21 is 36. So 36 equals 36. And so this one is a yes. And again, because A-U-S-E, the square root of 15 squared plus the square root of 21 squared is equal to 6 squared. And so that's how we know. And that's the converse. And really, this is used to know if we have right triangles. So like this would be where many carpenters would use it if they don't have like their square or other measures that help them create those right angles. This is something that they can do. Like they can, all right, if this is this length and this is this length, then the hypotenuse from this length to that length has to be this in order for it to create that right angle. So that's just one of the ways it's used. Until next time, 8th graders, have a wonderful day, and I will see you in class. Peace.